Hi. Hello. You come to talk to me about the murder? Yes, yes. Yes, Constable. Detective. Let me just say one thing, and I want you to write this down in your paper. I am not insane. What exactly happened? I'll tell you what exactly happened. It was that dastardly old man, you see, with his fish eye. Oh, how I hated him. I did not hate him. He never did anything wrong to me except that dead eye. He was always looking at me, you see. He was always looking at me. Yes, I shall start from the beginning, of course. Of course, I shall start from the beginning. You see, I came to London a year ago and I wanted to finish my studies, but I had nowhere to go, nowhere to live. For a while I lived in an inn, but that place, it was dirty, it was intolerable living in that place. So I simply put up a letter asking for a place to stay during my studies, of course. And that dastardly, no, he was not dastardly, he was kind to me, but that old man, he rented out a room to me. Little did he know. He was controlling, you see. I could only go out in certain moments during the day. He was controlling. He controlled what I ate. He controlled what I read. And he was glaring upon me with that dead fish eye. I don't know why he only had one eye. I only know that the one he had was always looking at me in some horrid way. I started to plan to get rid of the old man because I was certain he wanted to control me. Yes, I was certain he wanted to control my mind, my thoughts, my very being, with that eye, with that fish eye, seagull eye. Oh. Are these really necessary, officer? I'm not dangerous. I'm not crazy, you see. I'm not crazy. Anyway, I started to look upon the old man at night. Yes, I sneaked to his room and I oh so slowly opened the door. It was just fancies, you see, but I thought that if he would look at me, I would have no problem killing him. But he was always asleep. Always. And during the day, he never could imagine what I had planned. Never. At least, I don't think so. He could read my mind, I'm certain of it. That's why he was so controlling. That was why he knew everything. And I could hear his old, stinking heart in his chest. Ka-tung, 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 ka-tung. Oh, if I could only take a knife and one night it happened. Yes, I looked into the old man's room, and his eyes, his glaring fish eye met mine, and I jumped in and I could hear his heart beat, and I took my knife and I carved up his chest, and I ripped out his heart with my bare hand and I crushed it. Then I took my knife and I cut out that eye, that ever-gleaming eye, that fish eye, that eye. Afterward, such a peace came over me. I've never felt such a peace in all of my life, I think. Yes. But now came the other problem, what to do with the corpse. I could not very well throw it out the window, not in the state it was in. I broke up the floorboards. I worked for hours, the sweat was on my forehead, but I did it, oh yes I did, and I cut up the old man in pieces, and I put it in the floorboards, and oh, I was careful to wipe up all the blood. There was no blood, no, it was not. Officer, constable, can you hear something? It's faint, it's... No, of course not. Continue on with the story, yes. Yes, everything went perfect until those damn officers came. They knocked on my door. Yes, the old dastardly man was supposed to be on a meeting that very day, but he did not show up, and the person he was going to meet, I guess, wondered what would have become of him, and he sent those two officers, and I know my plan was foolproof. Yes, I know it. I know it was foolproof. I even invited them in, and I said, please check every corner of the house. Yes, I'm sure the old man is not here. He went out a long time ago and has not yet arrived back. I even offered them a cup of tea. Yes, and they drank their tea because they were in no hurry, and I laughed inside because I know they were drinking their tea on top of the old man. Then something happened. A sound started to penetrate the room. Ka-dunk, 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 ka-dunk. It raised in volume. At first I thought it was a clock, but I couldn't pinpoint where it came from. But the officers didn't mention it, or didn't seem to. It just went up higher and higher and higher until it filled my head. It filled my head with that thumping noise, and I knew now where it came from. It came from the floorboards. It was the dastardly old man's heart beating, and it was so loud my head had almost exploded, and I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take it because I knew the officer heard it too. I know that they heard it, and they were just waiting for a moment to open that floorboard, and I screamed, he's under there. I killed him, and I ripped out his old dirty heart. Yes, and I plucked out his eye with my knife. He was there. He's under the floorboards. They broke up the floorboard, of course, and found the old man, and they arrested me. And I could not hear that man's beating heart anymore. I know now that it was just my nerves that had gotten the hold of me, and And can't you hear that, officer? Can't you hear that strange sound? It's getting louder. It's getting louder. Lord, I am not crazy. I am not crazy. I am not crazy, but hang me quick, because I cannot stand the sound of that old bastard's heart.